Welcome back. So it's just a minor thing, but I'm kind of annoyed by these having to pass in these informations inside our seeders right here. So I have to have access to the main DB context and the auth DB context, the security service. And as I start growing and getting more services, maybe I have to pass those in manually right here. I don't like that. So instead what I did is I went in and I created two different interfaces. They're completely the same, the interfaces, an iAuth DB seeder right here, that's one of the interfaces. And the other interface is an iMain DB seeder. And they're placed in the data access package and in the security package right here. Now the idea with these two interfaces is when I have interfaces, I can start unit testing them. That's pretty amazing. So I can actually mock these when I want to. Another cool thing with this is I can jump into the startup file now and I can actually set up different scopes right here. So I have a main DB seeder for this scope and I have another seeder for the auth DB seeder. Now the cool thing with that is I can now dependency inject them directly in here, meaning that I don't need to dependency inject anything into the classes like this. So let's just try and do it. It means that I can now say I main DB seeder, and let's just call it main DB seeder like this, comma I auth DB seeder, and I can say auth DB seeder like this. And that might not seem like a big thing, but it means that now I don't have to set these up down here. I can just start calling them directly inside the code like this. So I just got rid of that new keyword down there, which is not a keyword I like to use anyway. So I just cleaned up a lot of my code actually. And there we go. Now we have the seeders dependency injected instead. And now it doesn't matter how many of the services I use inside my seeders. It'll just run behind the scenes and just automatically dependency inject them. Let's just make sure that everything is still running with this new setup. And if that's the case, I just cleaned up my code a lot actually, especially when we want to start unit testing this later on. So that's a good way to kind of clean up your code, and adding these interfaces makes a lot of sense when you're working with code like this, especially if you want to unit test it. It seems that everything is still running. Let's try and log in with Swagger again just to see that everything is still as it is supposed to be. Everything is running as it did before. So again, we just added a little bit of dependency injection there, just cleaned up our startup file and cleaned up our way of actually working with these seeders right here. Let's just end it right here and just work with some Angular in the next video. See you next time. Bye.